Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, how to kiss burnout goodbye for good. The must-know marketing tips you want to try today. Plus, Adora is a sweet success for this sister act. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we look at the issues facing small business owners and come up with practical advice and tips to help them succeed. Joining me today as co-host is Vesna Hrsto. Vesna is an executive wellbeing coach and mind-body peak performance specialist. She's worked with thousands of high-achieving women around the country to help them increase energy, mental clarity and peak physical wellness. Vesna, welcome to the show.
Thank you, David. It's great to be here.
We've been through a tough couple of years with the pandemic. How do we go about resetting ourselves?
Definitely something I see even more of now in the last couple of years, but the way that I focus on two pillars in my work, and one is mental performance, because we know that burnout is a result of chronic stress, and most of our stress is mental stress. And business can be a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
Sure can.
It sure can. Like, I work with clients with coaching and building in habits to relieve the mental overwhelm and stress and build resilience as well.
Okay.
And then secondly, it's physical well-being. So the nutrition that you put into your body is, can be fuel, it could be an energy drainer, but also supporting gut health and overall performance.
Yeah. I often say when I talk to small business groups, the biggest asset of your business is you. How do you focus on yourself?
Your performance has a direct impact on your business performance. And so taking care of yourself, it doesn't have to be a complete overhaul, but even doing small habits will make a huge difference to your productivity.
Great advice. Now, Vesna, I'd love your thoughts on our next small business case study, Inspire Realty. Colin Lee is the founder of Inspire Realty, a property investment business he built during the pandemic. Business is booming for Colin and his turnover has doubled. But all that growth has come with growing pains. And while Vesna, doubling your revenue is a great achievement, Colin's feeling the pressure of getting there. What are some of the tips he can use?
The first thing I always try and establish is to remove the overwhelm, because overwhelm is such a barrier to productivity. So looking at what their priorities are, going through, okay, these are the most important that have an immediate impact to my business and need to be done immediately. And everything else goes on the to-do later list.
Do you put in wellness events, if you like? Do you schedule them into your to-do list?
Yeah. Like, I would tell business owners, build in non-negotiable habits. Like, whether it is booking into your calendar, yes, you're going to do a workout once or twice a week. Or maybe it is that you're going to get to bed on time because it really does recharge. Maybe you build in short breaks into your calendar. Like, instead of having your meetings one after the other, building in 5-10 minute breaks, allowing yourself to kind of mentally decompress.
Right, to think about it.
Yeah.
That's the first step, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vesna, some great advice there. We'll catch up with Vesna again later in the show, but first, let's pop in on the team at Inspire Realty. To help Colin and Inspire through their growing pains, we sent him business strategist Matt Alderton, founder of BX, to see if he can help Colin with some advice around the systems, people and processes Inspire Realty needs to scale.
Hey Colin, thanks so much for having us here at your office in Sydney today. I'm really excited to be here actually and find out more about Inspire Realty.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you do?
So we're a property advisory and a buyer's agency. Essentially what I do is I help my clients to invest in the right property at the right time to build a profitable property portfolio.
There's a lot of competition in your market space. Tell me, how is Inspire Realty different to a lot of other property agencies out there?
I'm actually a qualified property investment advisor. I went through the whole qualification and they took elements of financial advisory because property at the moment is not a regulated industry. So what I do is I sit down with my clients, I understand what objectives, what are their priorities, and then make sure that the property that I'm buying for them matches what their priorities are. So I essentially map out and model out their property journey for them. We're a young team. All of us are either in our 30s or 40s. So we're all property investors ourselves. Our passion and purpose is to inspire our clients to think bigger and to say, hey, if these people from Inspire Realty have done it, I think you can do it too.
Inspire Realty's had some great growth over the past 3 years.
Yes.
What have been some of the challenges that you've had with that growth?
In the first couple of years, I was basically a one-man band, so I did everything from admin to sales to marketing to website development.
Yeah.
I did everything. I didn't have the systems, I didn't have the processes, I didn't have the manuals, I didn't have the operations. I didn't have anything to maintain that growth. And so as I grew, I think that really just taken my business to a whole new level.
But it's created some growth pains for you though, at the same time, right?
It does. I feel like sometimes I'm just putting out fires. Now I've got more clients than I can handle. And instead of turning around a client within days of them making an inquiry, sometimes it takes a week because I'm the only one doing the consult at the moment. So it's real challenging.
For today, I'd love to spend a little bit more time with you and take you through some of the strategies that you can implement to systemize and scale your business.
Okay.
I think that's going to give you some real great insight into how to really grow your business from here on in. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Now, recent findings from the government's Small Business and Mental Health Survey has found 1 in 5 small business owners have reported being diagnosed with a mental health condition by a doctor or health professional in recent months. And in some industry groups, that figure is as high as 1 in 3. According to the survey, a key cause of stress is finding a balance between the demands of work, family and personal life, especially following the pressures of the pandemic. While most business owners recognise the need to ask for help, 46% said they felt they would be stigmatised if they admitted they had a mental health issue. Vesna, 46% felt stigmatised. That's horrible. That's got to go down. How can small business owners ask for help?
Well, I think it's important to understand the benefits of asking for help. So firstly, I mean, that number is quite high, so they're not alone in the way that they feel. It's actually more common. And looking at the benefits, so burnout has significant health issues, and same with mental health issues. We know that it has an impact on relationships, so personal relationships. We tend to be stressed and we can take it home with us as well. But also the benefit is, like the studies that have done, like if every dollar that we spend towards our personal wellbeing and mental health brings over 200% ROI into our business. So actually there's an incentive to take care of ourselves because it also improves the bottom line in our business.
Give us the signs of burnout that we should be asking ourselves and probably telling our partners about to watch out for too.
So the most common is exhaustion. So it's the kind of tiredness that's not relieved by sleep. You may have a weekend off or resting or even come back from a break and you still feel tired. That's probably the most common symptom. Anxiety and overwhelm, so finding you're set off by little things really easily. There's also loss of motivation in your work and joy in your work and business. So maybe in the beginning, there was lots of passion and lots of drive, and now not so much.
Yeah. There are no quick fixes, of course, but what are maybe some daily habits we could adopt to ease the stress?
So I always say, really prioritise sleep, because that is the time where even if we've got a busy day, we can recharge, right? Our body wants to lay down and recharge at night. So I talk about the power of 8 before 10, meaning getting 8 hours of sleep, but getting to bed by 10 p.m. because it's that time that we get before midnight, which aligns with our circadian rhythm, which has the most restorative effect.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Right, okay.
And then nutrition for energy. So a lot of, I think, you know, when people are busy, they tend to skip breakfast, they have coffee in the morning or something caffeinated to keep going. And those things will just kind of crash your energy later on in the day.
Right.
So looking at having, you know, breakfast in the morning, not skipping it. And if you're going to have caffeine, then do it after you've eaten something.
Okay. 8 before 10. I love that. Terrific advice, Vesna. Talk a bit later. Stay tuned. ANZ's Paul Presland takes us through the ins and outs of business loans.
Are you ready to grow your business? You may be looking into applying for a business loan. My name is Paul Presland. I'm the General Manager of Small Business at ANZ. And I want to share with you how to prepare your small business for lending. It comes down to the 4 C's of credit. The first C, character. Nothing to do with your personality. It's all about an applicant's business acumen, reputation, credit history, and track record of repaying debt. The second C, capacity, is about the ability of a business to repay debt. Your lender will assess you by reviewing items like bank statements, other loans, and understanding your business strategy. Remember to provide as much information as you can. The third C, collateral. It's an item or an asset of value that's used to secure the loan, including cash, property, land, or accounts receivable. And your lender may need to know the age, location, and other attributes of the security to determine its current and future value. The fourth C of credit, capital. It's about your overall financial position, your assets, your liabilities, net worth, liquidity, and any deposit you're willing to make. And your lender will look at your capital to check what assets you have and if they're needed to help make repayments on the loan. If you need a good business lending checklist, head to ANZ's Financially Ready Business Hub.
Whether you're doing business in person or online, in regional Australia or the big smoke, you want to hear from our next guest. Colin Burney is the Head of Business Development at Square Australia, and he has some great tips on how to grow your business. Colin, good to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks, David.
Now, we all know those little white card readers that are all over the place at the moment, but there's so much more to it than that, isn't it?
The iconic Square Reader was really the beginning of our business, and it allowed many small businesses to take payments quickly. But more often than not, you need more than just payments to really run a business successfully.
Give us an idea of those tools.
We have Square Marketing, so it's a tool that allows small businesses to market to their existing customers. We have a loyalty product that allows small businesses to reward their existing customers and the people who keep coming back to them and are loyal. We have integrations with other existing platforms that might already exist in a small business, like an accounting platform. So loads of new products and tools in our ecosystem.
In this environment, most small businesses are saying, how do I grow my revenues? What are you seeing from your customers?
We've seen some really interesting ideas and real resilience in a lot of the small businesses that we come across. We've seen salons start to develop, retail capabilities. We've seen restaurants start to deliver sauce and other kind of prepackaged meals to their customers. There's a great business up on the New South Wales Central Coast called Yarramalong Turf Farm. And they started out obviously as a turf farm, but they increasingly started to sell other farm supplies online. They've now got a cafe out there. They've also got a retail presence as well. And they run all of those different businesses all via Square. And the owner, Al, up there, has got visibility across all the businesses in one simple place.
And they start as a turf farm?
Absolutely.
If people want more information on Square, where can they go?
SquareUp.com is our website, and it's got all of the product and ecosystem information and contact details as well.
Good on you, Colin. Thank you for that.
Thanks, David.
Adora for me means luxury. It's an indulgence.
It's not just your regular product. You can make customers feel that it's an experience.
Hi, my name's Tina Angelides, and I'm one of the founders of Adora Handmade Chocolates.
I'm Katerina Stavropoulos, and I'm also part of the business.
I always loved chocolate. My mum used to hide it from me. I started making little coconut and almond clusters from home, and as I was gifting them to people, and people were always impressed by the gifts. So I quit uni and decided to start Adora Handmade Chocolates 30 years ago, and approached my sister, who at that stage had 3 children of her own, and we wanted to start a home business where we could make chocolates from home and support our families.
We only had one store for about 17 years. We could have done things a lot quicker. We sort of tend to pace ourselves, and that's because our children have grown up. We're at a different time and place with our business.
One of the challenges has been by going from 1 store to 7 and with 8 next month. I think it's definitely been maintaining the quality. We wanted to always have that homey look and making sure that the quality is always going to be there. But our fundamentals of keeping it all natural and keeping that concept of as fresh as possible has maintained over the years.
It's good to have systems in place, but if you don't have the right people to execute the systems, it's just not going to work.
A handbook is paramount. I think it's important to keep going back to things and having that handbook on your values and what you stand for, and just different processes and why we do things, and just the little bits and pieces of it day to day. So it's important that everyone's on the same page about what Adora is meant to be.
I keep saying, always remember that people are coming in and purchasing something really special, so the experience needs to be special.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm one of the co-founders of Scratch Dog Food, and these are my 3 biggest marketing tips. The first thing is to cut your focus to 1 or 2 marketing channels and do them as well as you can. Most of us try to do way too many things and don't do any of them justice. The brands that really grow, they grow because they dominate 1 or 2 marketing channels, so narrow your focus. Number 2, measure what matters. So you've got your focus channels, narrow that down to the metrics that produce success. So whether that's Facebook ads, it's not how much traffic you're driving, it's how many sales you're driving, how many add to carts you're driving. It allows you to focus in on what truly makes what you're doing work or not. And number 3, be interesting. If you don't find what you're doing exciting or you can't express that to others, then people are just going to ignore what you're doing. If you're a dry cleaner with 15 other dry cleaners around, people are going to go to the one that they take notice of. And usually we do that by being interesting.
Earlier in this episode, business strategist Matt Alderton dropped by Inspire Realty to talk them through their growing pains. Now Matt is back to share his advice for what Colin and the team at Inspire need to do next if they want to continue their growth trajectory.
One of the issues, or really I would say a challenge that I'm facing in my business at the moment, is to systemize my internal process just so that I can be more efficient and effective. What sort of advice would you give me to be able to effectively grow that and to build a better internal system?
So one of the keys to growing and scaling your business is having a strong foundation to your business. And your systems and processes that you establish are the keys, absolutely. As you know, have a Subway restaurant background. The reason I got into Subway was it had that systems and processes. The operating manual for that business was the absolute key to giving me strong growth and scalability. I didn't have to be the key man in my business. And that's going to help you stop being the key person in your business and step out of the day-to-day operations and start working on your business as opposed to in your business. So the one thing I would recommend you do is have a great place to host your systems and procedures manuals. And one of the easiest places to have is like a Google site where you can have like a basic structure, all nicely site mapped out, where people can go to specific procedures for certain elements of the operating of the business. Sure. And then anytime you have a task, like you might use a task management software or tool, you have that procedure referenced in that task, that recurring task. So they don't have to go find it each time. Okay. If you have to hand that over to a new person, sure, they can then have that simply connected from there.
I know where my clients are. They're generally working in big corporates, in companies. So I'm looking for partners or people that are deeply entrenched in those sort of target audience. How do I build strong relationships to be that trusted partner, so to say, with these people? So that I can continue to reach deep into my partnership.
There's a number of different types of partners you can work with. For you, the best type of referral partners are really going to be people that have your client base. Yeah. So if you can tap into these other businesses that have all of your clients already, but they don't compete with you specifically, it means you can leverage their clients and the relationships they have with their clients to get more clients across to you and vice versa.
Matt, that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you for your time and for sharing of your tips and strategies and a bit of your wisdom.
It's been a pleasure.
Some really great advice from Matt around how Inspire should work on creating key processes so that Colin can step out of working on the day-to-day and focus more on the big picture. And Vesna, processes and procedures really do alleviate stress, but what else do you reckon Colin should do to keep on top of things personally?
Yeah, well, I think taking care of his personal well-being, because if he needs to have high levels of productivity and performance and stay on top of things, then he wants the energy for that as well. But also, again, being intentional about what he puts on his plate and what he eats. Sugar and processed foods can increase the stress, whereas whole foods and vegetables will help to reduce stress.
And I suppose that's also important to pass on to your staff as well, isn't it? For their ability to cope and make it almost team building exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the staff are going to be having chocolate and coffee during the day, then they're going to be more tense and probably not thinking as clearly. So you're setting an example for your staff as well.
Yeah, Vesna, great advice. Thank you for joining us today. It's been terrific.
Thank you so much.
Now, remember, if you are looking for small business tips or the latest news and expert advice, then you can find them online at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, the website secrets that will keep customers coming back for more. We reveal the Aussie innovation that makes homegrown veggies as easy as 1, 2, 3. Plus, why podcasting could help build your brand.